with an unfortunate passing and more. This is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. As former WWE star Lacey Evans started posting premium content photos following her release from the company. She said this regarding her husband not initially being alright with this decision, as she told Insight with Chris Van Vliet, "Oh man, not from the beginning, but when we were discussing it from the beginning when I was in WWE, but they wouldn't let me do that. I said it would be fun to play dress up, and he said yeah, and I said what if we do it together? You know, F it." We talked about it, and the next thing you know, we get excited and he's picking out outfits, and I'm like, F yeah, that looks great. And we're doing photo shoots and having a good time, and what goes on after the photo shoots is different, but I can tell you that my love life has never been spicier. I'm 33, I'm doing whatever the hell I want to, and my husband is game. AEW President Tony Khan recently explained why Samoa Joe vacating the ROH television title made sense, telling Bill Pritchard of WrestleZone, "The TV title has been such a consistent focus on the TV show, and Samoa Joe has defended it many times. Given the nature of a TV title, it will be good to have a champion who will participate consistently on ROH TV and be a fighting champion. Samoa Joe has been such an incredible champion, was the longest reigning champion of all time, and made such an incredible list of defenses. If you look back at all the great wrestlers Samoa Joe fought for the ROH TV title in the over 1 year reign, it was incredible. I also think now with AEW, Samoa Joe has become a huge focus of AEW promotional consideration, and definitely for Samoa Joe, I do think it made a lot of sense for him to be a focus because he's such a huge star for AEW. There are a lot of commercial benefits to have a huge star of Samoa Joe's stature on AEW television every week. It felt as big as Samoa Joe's presence on AEW has become. It had become challenging for him to defend the championship. Relinquishing it at that point didn't make some sense. To him personally, it made sense because he had accomplished everything he had set out to. He became the longest reigning, most dominant champion and set his sights on a new goal, which is for AEW World's End. Asked if WWE stars were able to keep the title belts they won, Maven said on his YouTube channel, "Keep the belts forever? No. When I was the hardcore champion, I did take the belt home with me. I got to keep it 24/7. It's not like they confiscated it so that it would be at the next show. No, the belt went home with me. I still remember friends and family taking pictures of it. I almost got in trouble the first time. I took it out to show all my buddies at that given moment. I was the only hardcore champion. I thought that was pretty cool. So I took it out to a bar that night. I was parked in a spot I probably shouldn't have been because I thought I was great, and my car got towed. I had to fight the next morning to go out and defend the hardcore championship. Not having that belt on the fight for that show was not an option. I had to wake up the lot owner. I had to pay him $500 to get my car out of the lot, and phew, I made my fight. My wallet was a little thinner, but I learned a valuable lesson that night." Talking about recent criticism that AEW has been on the receiving end of from fans, Chris Jericho said this to WFAA. "People's opinions are opinions, especially on social media, when everybody is going to say what they think with no consequences and mostly negative. I think our shows have been great, the matches have been great, and we've done a great job of balancing the storylines along with these amazing matches. The most important thing we've been doing is building stars. I'm sure people on the Dallas Cowboys or people making movies, or if you're in a band, it's like being a Kiss fan. Kiss fans hate everything, but they still buy everything. I find a lot of wrestling fans are like that too. They hate everything. If you listen to public opinion online, I should be shot and killed and never show my face on wrestling again because I'm the worst possible thing that could ever happen to the business, me still being in existence. Either you believe that or you don't, and I don't. I don't think the majority of people do either, but people are still going to say that. It's your opinion. I never worry about people that don't like what we do because you can't convince them. They just don't like it, and that's fine. It's your opinion. I worry about the people that do like our show and worry about making new fans of our show. That's the most important thing." During that same interview, Jericho had this to say when it comes to CM Punk's return to WWE. It's business as usual. It happens. It's the same reason why I'm sure there wasn't a big reaction when Adam Copeland came to AEW, or when Will Ospreay signed with AEW, or when Danielson, Moxley, and Adam Cole came to AEW. It's good for the business that guys have the ability to go between companies. It's great for the fans, and it's great for the talent overall. It just makes the business stronger, and that's the most important thing. Following CM Punk's return to WWE at Survivor Series, reports came out that stated Drew McIntyre seemed furious as he said this about Punk on WWE's The Bump. I obviously recognize he's big for business, he's a huge name, he draws a lot of eyeballs, that's very clear when you just look at the numbers. I'm a bigger picture person. I tend to use that criminology degree and look at beyond all reasonable doubt, look at the evidence, and I'm not going to go into great details right now because now is not the time, but what I said on Raw is there are so few people on the current roster that have been on the same roster as him for years and years. I signed when I was 22. I was actually 21 when I signed, but I was on television when I was 22 in 2007. I spent years. I was around the person. I know the person. I know what he's truly like. I'm aware. It's cool. It does numbers. That's awesome for right now. I'm going to wait and see right now because I can't control who gets signed and who doesn't. I have stories. I'm going to keep them to myself, and in the future, if we cross paths, I ain't the same guy I was in 2010. I'm a lot bigger, smarter, more experienced, and I'll drop his ass. It seems as though WWE could find a new media rights partner in Warner Brothers Discovery for Monday Night Raw. As you know, WBD has TBS and TNT, the homes of AEW Dynamite and AEW Collision respectively. It was reported that PWInsider.com can confirm that this past Monday morning, TKO's Mark Shapiro as well as WWE's Nick Khan and Paul Levesque were in New York City at the Warner Brothers Discovery headquarters meeting with WBD executive Bruce Campbell about potentially moving Raw to the WBD family. Campbell holds the position of Chief Revenue and Strategy Officer. We are told that the WWE contingent met with Campbell for several hours Monday morning, with at least part of the meeting taking place in a conference room usually reserved for David Zaslav. With WWE's deal with the CW for NXT, allowing the network to broadcast other pro wrestling shows from different companies, Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer Radio added, "I don't think that WWE would demand exclusivity, and I don't know that WBD would let them demand exclusivity at the same time. Does that mean they would want two different wrestling products? This is all wait and see." While WWE has talked to Warner Brothers Discovery about TV rights for Raw, it seems WBD is not viewing All Elite Wrestling too favorably, as Nick Hausman said. Lastly, the vibe we have been given is that AEW is in danger of not being renewed by WBD for TNT or TBS. One scenario that was given to us was that WWE Raw would move to TNT or TBS, and AEW would be moved to Discovery. Two higher-up sources in AEW that I spoke with said that was news to them, and not something they had heard. Another said, only person who really knows is Zaslav. It would be added that the original deal that Tony Khan made with Warner Brothers when he brought AEW to TNT, obviously it was something that he was more friendly with, but during AEW's time with Warner, management has changed. The same people who were in charge of Warner, they are no longer in charge of Warner. They are new people. They are seeing this deal, and from what I gathered, Tony was getting quite a good part of the ad revenue early on. When the new people came on, they were like, whoa, how do you get this deal? We really don't want to do that if that's the ad share deal that you're going to be doing. I've been told that AEW's PR team has been moved under the Warner Sports umbrella. Now the people who are dealing with the PR wing with the NBA and others are working closely with AEW. I was told that was an indicator that AEW is tightening their relationship with Warner. It seemed the first quarter of 2024 is that quarter to get your content over to Max for streaming. So the first quarter of 2024 will be the big tell for AEW's future. If we don't hear something, if we don't see something, I have to wonder where Tony's taking this. With With him on hiatus from AEW commentary due to health issues, Jim Ross said this when it comes to a return to the company on his Grilling JR podcast. Well, sooner than later. I know that's not a very good answer. A day to have at the corner of my eye and thought about the pay-per-view World's End in Long Island. That's a hope that I would be healthy enough and able to work to the level that I need to work. No, I don't have a date. It's just hard to plan. I don't want to set myself up for disappointment. If I say I'm going to do something and I say I'm going to do it, then it's going to get done, but I can't commit to that right now because I still got some ongoing health issues that need to be addressed, and they are being addressed as I mentioned moments ago. It's just a process, man. I'm thinking that's one goal, returning at World's End. I guess you could say, I don't know. That would be on my radar. No doubt about that. Largely that's up to Tony Khan and what he wants me to do and getting approval from the doctor so I can travel okay and deal with the swelling and all of this other I've just gotten used to the pain and I've gotten used to the discomfort. While he was at the drive-thru window of a Taco Bell, former WWE star Ryback would be told to retire due to him saying on X that he would retire if CM Punk returned the night of Survivor Series. He said this regarding the incident on his YouTube channel. I just had a horrible interaction with a Taco Bell employee. Probably the first real bad interaction I had with somebody possibly ever. To order the food I got to the window, a woman took the order. This kid, I give him my card and he's literally into my car. Like not all the way into my window, but like just staring at me. Like I give him my card and I go to grab my phone. I turn around and he's just right in my face. He goes, "Big guy?" I go, "Yeah." He says, "Probably live in Vegas?" I go, "Yeah." He says, "You're not retiring?" I just look at him and I go, "What?" He says, "CM Punk." And he has a little smirk on his face. He's just trying to be a smartass, and I go, "All right, give me my food." He says, "Give me a picture." And I go, "No, give me my food." And this kid starts getting an attitude like, "Oh, you're mean," and some other and I just go off. Then this other chick comes and I tell her, "Get this effing piece of away from me." Doesn't even say, "Please, can I have a picture?" He just goes, "Give me a picture." Addressing the criticism that she has received from Sergeant Slaughter and his daughter over her usage of the Cobra Clutch, Slaughter's finishing maneuver in WWE, former WWE star Lacey Evans told Chris Van Vliet, "I think they're freaking weak. Remember that weak word we just talked about? Yeah, and no disrespect to like Hall of Famers in WWE that have paved the way. He can kiss my ass and his daughter can too, so record that. Have a good day." I don't know where the hell that came from. They know the game. You go to work. You get told this is what you're doing. And what a lot of people don't know what was said and what was done, how they discussed it with him and they talked to him, and that is none of my damn concern. What do you call it in the military when you have seniors above you? You have a rank structure. In WWE, when you're a performer, you're like down here. Whatever goes above your head happens a lot of times, unless you start crying about it and go banging on doors. I don't like that. I'm not going to cry about it. You tell me what the F you need. You tell me what time the bell rings, and I'll do whatever it is. Then, because I got a family to feed, a husband I love, and I say that with conviction, because I made sure I was in shape, I made sure I could do the flippy flops, the drop downs, I made sure to create the character. They told me, "You're gonna go out, you're gonna do the Cobra Clutch, and he's gonna come in and help." Then whatever happened, next thing you know, he's not out there. I'm still doing the Cobra Clutch, but don't get mad at me because I'm doing my job, you know what I mean? Or let's have that conversation, right? And at no point was that conversation ever had. Whoever his daughter is, from that side, that was wild. It didn't really ruffle my feathers. I kind of thought it was funny, like, you know, bless their effing hearts, but I didn't lose no sleep over it. My family still got fed. I still did what I effing needed to do, and I just hope they keep that same energy, that same kayfabe energy when they see me, because I don't do like that. During that same interview, Lacey Evans said this about treating pro wrestling as a job and not missing WWE after her departure. "I've had a lot of offers, obviously, reach out, but I did WWE for 7 years and it was never my passion. That was never a secret. It was incredible to see fellow sports entertainers that is their passion, but I just knew I went out there and did the best that I could and did my job, but I always looked forward to coming home. My family traveled with me everywhere I went for the most most part, and that was a struggle, right? Because when I got signed with WWE, I was a mom and I was a wife. I've been with my husband since I was 15. It was an incredible opportunity, but it was a lot for whenever you compare what your passion is, and WWE is very, very difficult. You're on the road well over 300 days a year. They want a lot from you. There was always something in the back of my head going, what the F am I doing? Do you want me to lie? No, there's not. Some people, they wake up and they put on 6-inch stilettos and 10 pounds of makeup and their extensions and they go walk the red carpet and they feel amazing. I'm not those people, and it was very difficult for me to put on that front. While it appeared as though NXT champion Ilya Dragunov was legitimately injured during his match against Ridge Holland the other night, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful said this on X storyline, according to Corey Brennan. Speaking to Justin LaBar of Busted Open Radio, Grayson Waller said this about CM Punk's return to WWE. Here's the audio.
Well, one person who is back, who's grabbing headlines and conversation, is CM Punk. I'm sure a lot of fans would love to see you cross paths on a mic with him, and in due time we'll probably get that. But so far, backstage, any crossing paths, any interactions you can share with?
You know, it's great to have Punk back because obviously, you know, he's a big name, he's a big star, and you know, I got to sit backstage at SmackDown on Friday and kind of sit the gorilla position and watch him go out and talk. And it's a different vibe, you know, and for me personally, I'm not going to go and ask for advice and kiss his ass or anything like that. That's not who I am, you know, but I am going to sit back and I'm going to watch what you do, and I'm going to be like, wow, and I'm going to take some notes in my head. And like that promo he did on Friday, like especially hearing the live crowd and everything was cool. But, you know, I had a bit of fun online with Punk before he came in. You know, I like to play with the rumors and those type of things. And, you know, I saw Punk backstage at SmackDown Friday, and I'm going to leave it there. You know, I don't think anyone needs to know what that interaction was, but let's just say we talked.
All right. A little bit of a tease there. I mean, I think I feel like I want to scratch that a little bit more, but if that's you're going to leave it there.
You know, but all I'll say, you know, Punk has come back, and, you know, I was at NXT last night doing some stuff, and, you know, he was there talking to all the young guys, giving them feedback, giving them advice. So he's coming back and he's doing everything he can to help. But Grayson Waller's not that guy, you know. I don't want to sit back and hear his advice. I don't want to wear his merch shirt. I don't want to put up a video of me at 12 years old telling Punk he's the best. Like, that's not who I am. I want to test myself against him. Not just in the ring, but on the mic, because that guy's one of the best of all time. That promo he did in Ring of Honor about the snake and the devil and all those, like, I've watched all those things. So, like, I appreciate everything he's done for the business, but I'm not here to be a fanboy. I'm here to be a competitor.
Going over how CM Punk played a role in WWE, talking to Warner Brothers Discovery in regards to a TV rights deal for Monday Night Raw. Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio they would like to get close to $400 million. I don't think they're going to get $400 million, but they're shopping it around, and WBD obviously being one of them. WBD seemed to be dead, and it's not dead. With Punk there and everything like that, it's not dead. It's not like people should go, oh my god, this and that with AEW. There's no way of knowing anything more other than they did have a meeting and it's not dead. That's all. WWE, as far as the Raw deal is, the belief is that they're finalizing pretty soon. Paul Levesque was at Raw on Monday. He missed the Raw, if you remember, because of whatever they were doing. They're trying to close that deal. That's pretty much it. Punk opened up what may have been a shut door. How open that door is or what is gonna transpire, I don't know. Punk, he's a significant player, and that's one of the reasons he's gonna be at the house show in Los Angeles this week, because I'm sure that the people who they are courting, everyone's headquarters is in LA. I'm sure that they're going to invite everyone that they're courting there, and figuring that they're going to see with Punk and Dom, they picked the right opponent for just a great reaction to go, look, this is what you're getting. This is the show we're selling. The belief is it's coming down relatively soon, but it's one of those things, there's no rush either. It could come down in 6 months. There are negotiations, and AEW is in negotiations. These negotiations are going to be gigantic to the future of wrestling in many ways, depending on who gets what, depending on the days of the week, depending on the counters. In some unfortunate news, a New Japan original has passed away, as Ringside News wrote. According to Nikon Sports, Osamu Kido, known as Ibushi Gin during his tenure in New Japan Pro Wrestling, has passed away. The 73-year-old wrestler breathed his last breath at a hospital in Yokosuka, Kanagawa, just after 10 p.m. on the 11th. His sudden and severe deterioration in health on the same day required a swift transportation from his residence to the hospital, where he ultimately passed away. It was reported that Osamu Kido had been grappling with cancer for several years, undergoing anti-cancer treatments to combat the illness. His daughter, Aikido, a 33-year-old professional golfer with one tour win, will honor the family's wishes by hosting a wake and funeral exclusively for immediate family members. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.